Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. We begin our video with a story of how one man solved a situation in which he was blocked by another car in a very original way. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Hey, Angela. How about you come back here and move your car? I've heard this story from a few sources. It seems, though, that over the years, the number of people that claim they were actually in the truck at the time have increased to circus clown car proportions. When I asked him about it, Mark, not his real name, said he was driving his pickup full of friends in a grocery store parking lot when a car abruptly backs out, forcing him to stop short. Then, after snailing along for about 10 seconds, a man exiting the store yells out, "Hey, Angela, how are you?" This lady proceeds to actually stop her car, exit the vehicle, and leave her car door open, blocking both lanes of the parking lot to go visit with her friend. After about 5 steps, Mark yells out, "Hey, Angela, how about you come back here and move your car?" She turns around and asks, "How do you know my name?" He replies, "I just heard that guy yell it over there. Now how about moving your car?" A vehicle is also pulled up behind him, so he can't even back out now. She goes, "Oh, F you, a-hole," then walks over to her friend and begins chatting with him. My friend stews for a moment, then guns his truck right through her driver's side door, ripping it off its hinges. He yelled, "F you too, Angela," as he peeled out of the parking lot. And our second story. The day I kicked out a customer. So I own a shop in a small European city that deals in general construction materials, tile adhesives, insulation boards, all kinds of specialized use mortars, etc. We also handle small contract jobs for roof/wall/foundations, insulation, etc. In our shop, we don't have price tags on merchandise. This is standard for our line of business. The reason is that because we do business with all kinds of customers, from the big construction company that buys truckloads of stuff to the simple consumer that buys 5 kilograms of something, we have different profit margins for each customer case. So most times people ask us for a quote on something and we offer it. So one day this guy walks in, let's call him Rude Guy, and he wants to have something fixed in his house and he's going to need a bunch of stuff. So I start to prepare for him a quote for the things he's going to be needing. All the while he's asking about the price on all kinds of stuff in the shop floor, and I give him various prices. Every now and then he goes, "Why don't you have price tags on stuff? The big shop outside town has price tags on everything." I try to control my temper. Then he starts asking about specialized products that we don't hold in stock and only bring on order. For example, there are 50 different colors of tile grout. We can't keep stock of every one, and he's like, "The big shop outside town has everything in stock." All the while, I'm trying to maintain my temper and continue to prepare the quote for the job he asked us to do. The job would be roughly around $400 worth, so I'm trying to be patient. And then as I'm ready to hand him the written price quote I've prepared, he starts ranting again. Rude Guy, "I'm standing here all this time and you haven't offered me a glass of water. What kind of shop is this that you don't offer customers a glass of water?" At which point I snap, for this guy's just pushing for a quarrel. Me, "Sir, please get out of my store." Rude Guy, "You don't want my money?" Me, "No, sir. You can go give your money to the big shop." Rude Guy, "I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go to your competitor." Mentions name of a store of one of my competitors, who also happens to be a good friend of mine. Me, "You can go and give your money wherever you want to. I don't want it." Rude Guy, "What kind of shop is this? You're going to go out of business if you're behaving to customers this way." Me, "We can do whatever we like. Now please, get out." At which point he leaves the store angry. I never felt better. I understand that as a store owner, I sometimes have to put up with a lot of bad-tempered customers, but sometimes my dignity comes before money. There's a limit to the crap I can take. Funny thing is that this has happened 3 years back, and before 1 year, this guy came back to buy some stuff from my store. I pretended not to recognize him and served him properly. He was much more well-tempered this time. And our next story. Mother demanded I give her kid 2 toys. So I used to work at McDonald's, and we'd change toys every month or so. We'd market movies and shows with toys, as most people would know. Sometimes we would just have kids' toys like My Little Pony or Shopkins. We had a policy that the toys were not boy or girl, since sometimes girls want the monster truck or a boy wanted the pony. I didn't have a problem with it, since I'm a girl and I love Transformers and stuff like that that's traditionally boy-marketed toys. We'd have to ask something like, and does your child want the Hot Wheels or the My Little Pony toy? That way the child can ask for what they want. It was nice to see some parents that were being open-minded and getting their kids whichever toy they liked, but some parents did not. So one month we had My Little Pony and Transformers. I love Transformers and watched them when I was a kid with my brother. Mind you, this was the original cartoon that aired in 1984. Every chance I got. So when the toys were released, I'm not ashamed to say I bought them all. I was working the front counter and taking orders when a mother and her daughter came up. They ordered their food, and when the Happy Meal rolled up, I turned and asked the little girl which toy she wanted. I like doing this because a petty side of me doesn't want to go through the parent. The little girl said she wanted the robots, aka the Transformers toy. I was so excited, another little girl liked Transformers, but my happiness was deflated when the mom said, "That's a boy toy, you're not a boy." I was fuming. My head could have exploded. I had so much to say at that moment, but I couldn't. Not to mention the look on that little girl's face crushed me. Memories of being picked on for liking Transformers and Power Rangers filled my head. I begrudgingly selected the other toy, which was the MLP toy. Now keep in mind, these toys have to be small to fit in the box, otherwise it won't close. Just after I finished her order and 2 others, my manager told me it was time for my break. There was one last toy on the Transformers list I was going to buy. When getting my food ordered, I saw that the woman and her kid were getting their food. After I got my order taken, the woman came back to the counter. Her: "Are these the only toys you have?" Manager: "For right now, yes." Her: "These are tiny. Is this all there is?" Manager: a little shocked: "Yes, that's how they come." The lady then ranted that she should get 2 of them as the toys before we're bigger, and the price of the Happy Meal was too much for such tiny toys. They argued for a bit before the woman stormed back to her table. Looking at the toy in my hand, I had the most perfect idea. I walked over to the table and handed the Transformer toy to the little girl. I'll always remember the pure look of joy on her face. I even remember it was Bumblebee. "Your mommy said you needed another toy, so you can have mine. I hope you like it." The little girl smiled, and I, crap you not, said, "I got the pony and the toy I wanted." I felt so happy in that moment. And our last story. "But you already have a house." "I don't care, I need another one." As far as my memory serves, my aunt has had an entitled attitude since I was a little boy, always demanding and refuses to take no for an answer. Her husband left and divorced her 3 years after the marriage due to her attitude and refused to accept that the house they lived in was not community property. He owned the house before they married and had to be physically removed from the house by the police due to her entitled attitude. When my father died and left me a sizable inheritance, only child, she tried to get her greedy hands on it, claiming it was hers by right, and even tried to sue me, a 9-year-old child at the time, to get it. She went absolutely bat crap when that failed and wound up serving 2 weeks in jail for contempt of court. Then she tried to fake my signature on several documents to get my inheritance. That failed as it was held in trust by an attorney at the time and lost any claim to it due to the attempt and was removed from getting any inheritance due to the terms of the will. I still don't understand how she managed to try that without facing attempted fraud charges. From that point, she only got worse. When I hit 18, she came to me with papers and demanded I sign them, and had a sleazy attorney with her that tried telling me they would sue and tie up the inheritance for years to come until I signed over the money. They did not count on me having dealt with the attorney for several years and who viewed me as if I were his own son, who told me to sign nothing if anyone tried concerning my inheritance. And she wound up having to pay for her attorney out of pocket and was in debt. Since then, she's been trying to bully family members into getting what she wants and threatens to sue whenever told no, even when she has no grounds to stand on. It's currently how she got the house she lives in now, by threatening a family member with a lawsuit if she didn't get the money she wanted. A family member I shared my inheritance with, she bought my entitled aunt a little house in order to shut her down, then blocked her on everything and went no contact with her, and got a restraining order on the basis of being constantly harassed and threatened by my aunt. Apparently, she thought she could take my house from me and no one would stop her. So she thought. During this, she'd gotten herself banned permanently from several local stores, including the local and several other Wally Worlds and several restaurants. Absolutely refuses to apologize to anyone when she's wrong and will never, ever admit she was in the wrong and is a major gossip. Even after I sold the house she tried to forcibly move into, she still tried to get the house, nearly getting herself shot in the process, and now has a criminal record due to it. To this day, she runs around telling people how awful I am for stealing her house and refusing to admit it was and is her house. She's always had the attitude that the world revolves around her and that everyone in it must bow to her wishes. Pre-Scrooge revelation and still cold and greedy. Her mother was just as bad, so I can see why she developed such a bad outlook on life, has absolutely no mercy towards those less fortunate, and even says they need to hurry up and die. It'd reduce the so-called surplus population of useless people. And dare I say, idolizes figures like Scrooge from A Christmas Carol, and has been heard making comments like, "Too bad Hitler lost the war." Overall, she's basically a very evil, entitled woman that hates anyone that does not share her viewpoint and does not bow to her wishes. Small addition. As to her seeming obsession with me, I think that comes from my own mistake in allowing her to borrow some money from me after I was 17 and understood what it meant, and later claiming she never borrowed anything. She never paid me back a penny, and to this day claims I owe her money. Why I feel like this isn't the last time OP will ever hear about her. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.